Hello, viewers. You're welcome to your show, my show, our show, the Digging Deep Show. Thank you ever so much for tuning into the program. We are a few months in the year 2016, and I know many people they are now beginning to slow down as far as goals are concerned, and we, as the Digging Deep Show, try much to bring as many people who are helpful to you, our viewers, to keep you on track from finance, spiritual, and health-wise. These are the main areas which we deal with. The mind, the body, and the soul. If those things are fine, then we know you will be fine. And today in the studios, we have decided to bring a man who have been working so hard within the community, as on the Digging Deep Show, one people who are influencing the community much. If you look at his profile, there are a number of awards from different organizations. He doesn't need much introduction. He's Ibrahim K Asente. Welcome, sir.
Welcome, Kudzi.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much. You work with an organization, or you founded an organization in 2005, SITS. What does SITS mean, and what is it all about?
SITS is Significant International Training System. It's an international organization that deals in consultancy, in leadership, in peak performance, and preventive health.
We are here in England, and health is kind of one thing which most people they deal with so much. And of late we have had a heart awareness campaign when we discovered that we, as the Afro-Caribbean man, we are not very much, competent as far as seeking health advice is concerned. Is that the area which you work in?
Yes, we wait most often than not for things to get too bad before we seek redress. But as the saying goes, prevention is better than cure. So we would not want the thing to happen in the first place. So we look more into how to prevent things. There are 3 stages of health, for example, the healthy stage, the sub-healthy, and the 6th stage, which we'll go deeper into today, if time permits us. And we want people to be in the healthy stage as much as possible.
Somebody's watching right now and they're saying, how do you prevent, and what are we preventing? Because I'm fine. I'm not feeling any pain in my body. Of course, I might look, a little bit bigger, but in Africa, being bigger, it's a sign of good living.
Well, it's a sign of good living, but at the same time, it's also a sign of also danger at the end of the tunnel. Mm-hmm. Let's cast our minds back. If you look at the world as a population of 100%, only 5% of people are healthy. And what do I mean by that?
Yeah.
It means they don't have any sign, they don't have any symptom. No headache, no back pain, no erectile dysfunction, no premature ejaculation, no painful periods, nothing. And among those 5%, 4% are children, which even tells us that not all children are healthy. For us adults, only 1%. And I'm sorry, I'm not there.
Do you qualify in the 1%?
I don't. Why? Because I use reading glasses. This is a sign that my eye is not 100%. And once you have a sign, you don't say, "Oh, I'm healthy, everything's okay," but for my knee,
it's only my eyes.
You are not healthy. You should be impeccable. There should be no sign, no symptom. And I liken it to police officers walking around and there is no sign of crime, no symptom. So it is more of preventive. And each stage also tells us what approach to use. So if you're in the healthy stage, it's prevention. You don't go and take medicines. You prevent.
So what do those people who are in that stage do? What do they need to do? Is there any specific type of food, any drinks they need to drink?
Yes, we would talk about the 6 significant pillars of health. That regardless of the stage you are in, whether you are in the healthy stage, sub-healthy stage, or the 6th stage, if you do not obey those laws, then ultimately you will not come back, if you're in the 6th stage, to the sub-healthy, and if you're in the sub-healthy, to the healthy stage. And that will be talking about water, sleep, exercise, eating living food, taking some natural organic food supplements and coping effectively with stress.
Like you said, there are three stages, right?
Yes, sir.
The first stage is
the healthy stage.
The healthy stage. And
What's
the second
symptoms.
stage?
The second stage is sub-healthy stage.
Uh-huh.
In etymology, the study of words, if we say sub means to go under. So the way under is subway. Under the water is submarine. So if you're not healthy, you're sub-healthy. We even say I've gone under the weather, isn't it?
Yes.
So sub-healthy means that there are signs and symptoms, but no clinical diagnosis. I have slight headaches. I have not been diagnosed with, let's say, stroke.
I always feel my back.
I have this, but there's no clinical diagnosis, which means you're neither healthy nor sick.
You can manage it.
You can manage it, but there are things you need to do. I liken it to, you see, the first stage, the healthy stage, I liken it to two police officers walking around, no sign of crime, no symptoms.
It's a safe environment.
Safe environment, and the approach is prevention. The second stage, which is a sub-healthy stage, it is as if someone is putting their hands in your pocket or your bag to take your purse or your wallet.
But they haven't.
So there is a sign, there is a symptom. So the approach we use there for prevention or to deal with it is called timely intervention. You have to, quickly, because if you don't timely intervene, the guy, which is the virus and bacteria, will take your wealth away. And we say health is wealth. So the challenge we face these days is people have the signs, they have the symptoms, but they convince themselves that nobody can steal from me. Nobody will even try.
I'm still fine.
And
especially as from African men, why would I go to the GP because of my knee?
They wouldn't even bother to look, let alone to timely intervene. And before they realize, the guy has taken the wallet, which means the virus and the bacteria has invaded, and they are in the last stage, which is the sixth stage. And there'll be clinical diagnosis, i.e. the person has cancer, lupus, fibroid, hypertension, diabetes. Doctors have certified through tests that there is a clinical diagnosis. And at that stage, you can't use prevention. You've passed the healthy stage. You cannot use timely intervention. The virus, bacteria, whatever, has already stolen it. At that stage, you need either curative or treatment. And it's a reactive approach. It is as if the guy has taken your wallet, run into a car, and driving off. Now you will be agitated, you'll be shouting. And then what do you think the police officers will do? They also sit in the car and pursue. So the kind of police officers we normally deploy, one of them that division don't carry guns. We look at it as medicines.
All right.
The second department, they carry guns. They are armed for police officers. We call them surgery because probably that thief or that criminal may be armed. And then the third group of police officers that could be deployed, but I must say these are not deployed in any particular order, could be therapy. So many forms of therapy, physiotherapy, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, cognitive therapy, hundreds of them, hydrotherapy, both internal, external. And that I liken it to a criminal who is very, very vicious and can dodge around. Under some shrubs, you need some helicopter with heat sensors to detect it.
Yes.
But again, I must emphasize to our viewers that we do not go about treatment or curative, or the professionals don't go about it in one particular order that will give you medicine, then after that surgery.
Yes, you do that.
There are cases like appendicitis. You need to be taken to the theater immediately.
Yes. In the beginning, you mentioned how to prevent, and we were talking of what to prevent. So I want to go on the how. Those who are in the first stage, how do we prevent it? What do we need to do?
Yes. Before I even go to that, I would like to underscore that if someone is in the third stage, I'll come to your question, and medicine does not help, surgery does not help, therapy does not help, guess what else will happen? It becomes palliative, which is end of life. In Western countries, we will take the person to a place called hospice.
Hospice, yes.
And there, make sure that the person pass on humanely without having pain, because pain alone can kill. Just pain. Pain can kill. And if you look at the deployment, for example, of the police officers to arrest, i.e., the medicine, surgery, or therapy, they have to break the law. So
Definitely.
medicines break the law by chemistry. Surgery breaks the law of anatomy and physiology, because we have to cut a healthy muscle, a healthy capillary, a healthy vein before we
To
get
reach to where the infection is.
And whenever a law is broken, there is a risk of casualty. And that is what we call side effects.
Side effects. Is there any medication that doesn't have side effects? Because many people say, "Oh, don't take this. They have side effects. You're thinning your blood. Yeah. But these tablets they have side effects. Is there any medication without side effects?"
Absolutely no. All medicines have side effects. And if you've left yourself from moving from the proactive zone, i.e., the healthy and sub-healthy, into the reactive zone, then you have no choice. It's either you succumb to what will help you in terms of treatment and curative, or it becomes a palliative case. And yes, we are all aware that there is a risk of casualty, which is side effects. That is why, for example, the police officers always put in mitigation factors like the lights on the car for visibility, then the siren for audibility, to reduce the risk of collision side effect. Hence, one could also obey the 6 significant pillars of health, which rightly answers your question, which begins with water. Drink lots of water. I mean, the 6 significant pillars of health that one needs to obey. If you take medicine, surgery, whatever, if you don't obey those things, it will not work. Water, water, water is number 1.
Yeah, there's this, I don't know whether we call it a belief or a myth of warm water, cold water, room temperature water. When it's summer, we want that cold water,
chilled iced water.
Yes. Is there anything to benefit from that?
It's recommended to drink warm water, i.e., room temperature. I mean, to put it simple, in layman's terms, whenever it is cold, everything shrinks. And the pipes in our body, I call them the pipes, the arteries, the veins, the capillaries, and what have you. If you drink too much cold water or drinks, I mean, logic tells us that it will also shrink a little bit. And its shrinking is not what bothers us. It is the fact that it's going to stop the free flow of the bodily fluids, i.e., the oxygenated blood, the deoxygenated blood, the lymph, and build pressure, which could lead to high blood pressure, which could then lead to things like stroke and then death. That is what worries health professionals when they're talking about that. So drinking warm water, and water is key.
Is there a recommended amount of water per day for a human being?
Some will say 8 glasses, some will say this, but we all have our individual capacities ratio.
Yes.
I would say the litmus test will be look at the color of your urine. If it is transparent, then it may give a very good indication that you are drinking enough water. If it is not odor, there's no odor, odorless, then it's a good indication. But if you finish the loo and you realize the color has changed, someone will say, which color? Any color. It must be colorless and odorless. Then it means you need to drink a lot of water. Because 25% of our bones is made up of water. And in the human body, we have 206 different bones. So 1/4 of the time, when people complain, oh, my hand, my knee, my back, osteocases, 1/4 of the time is because they are not well hydrated.
Substitution, at times we end up substituting water with tea and juice, and are there any challenges in that?
Certainly. You meet a lot of people who would say, I've been to my doctor, this is my pressure, it's not good. They have been giving me amlodipine, statin, warfarin. The first question I ask is, do you drink enough water? No, but I drink tea. I said, no, water. I drink soup. I said, water. Oh, I drink a lot of juice. Water is responsible for the transport of all nutrients and waste. And in pharmacology, we have something we call drug targeting. If there is a pain here and you take the medicine, we expect it to go here, not here. But the means of transport is water. So, for example, let me use myself as an example. I have a knee pain. I take 2 paracetamols. This is not literal, but I'm using it to illustrate. Then I drink just a little bit of water. The 2 painkillers come up here. The pain is still there. I'll be tempted to take another 2 tablets. Then I drink just a little bit of water. It will reach here. Now I go for another 2 tablets. So it's 6 tablets before it gets to where it has to get to. Meanwhile, if I had just taken 2 and drank enough water
to push it to where it's supposed to be. So number 1 is water. Number 2.
In fact, I wouldn't even go to number 2. I will still stay with water.
Yes.
About 80% of our blood plasma is made up of water.
Yes.
So if you don't drink enough water, needless to say, your blood viscosity will be thick. Hence, blood pressure may go up, stroke could happen, death could follow. So if you reverse engineer water, and if we look at our human body like a building, each building is made up of units, that is blocks. And for us, we call it cells.
Yes.
If you look at the blocks or bricks, it's made up of cement, gravels, water, and sand. But with the human cell, it is made up of more than 70% of water. Some books will tell you 75, some will say 80. But for sure, over 70% is water. Now, if we put all these blocks together, we get one wall, and that is called the tissue. And if we put 4 walls together, we get one room, that is called the organ, like the heart, the liver, the kidney, the spleen, and the lungs. And these are the 5 critical organs. Now, the challenge is, if each of these critical organs is not functioning properly, then it could be fatal. So water is so important that even for pharmaceuticals and for companies that produce food supplements, it is in their business interest to tell the clients to drink enough water.
In the 3 stages of health, you spoke about number 1, which is the healthy stage, and you said the highest percentage in those are children, and yet when you look at children, they are more of milk and other foods. They don't take much water. What is it that is within the children that makes them to prevent all these infections?
Well, that is why the promotion of breastfeeding is quite encouraged. If you breastfeed your child, especially the critical ages from 0 to 6 months, there are a lot of nutrients in the mother's milk that will naturally protect the baby, except maybe the mother cannot lactate, or there is an exceptional issue where maybe the mother did not survive childbirth and people have to resort to other means. I would always recommend breastfeeding, because in my own this is my own opinion, I would say that the human DNA and the animal DNA, though similar, but are not the same. So if we happen to intertwine, have a lot of the influence from the cow milk, then we may indirectly, that's my own opinion, be creating hybrid human beings who may not have empathy and sympathy as human beings and may commit a lot of social vices, crimes and stuff. So if it's an area I want to study, further into the impact of food, i.e. milk, the animal one, on the human behavior, i.e. in terms of crimes and other things. And I believe there is a link somewhere.
You mentioned a number of things, we drink this, we drink that, and there are some of us who we don't take much water, but we drink much milk because milk is healthy.
It is healthy, but for the children. Because
what about the adults?
That falls under the pillar of health called eating living food. Milk, adults, we don't even have enzymes to digest the milk. the enzymes to digest the milk is not present. So if we are pumping what we don't even have enzymes to digest into our system, then we will be exposing ourselves or to certain diseases. If you drink lots of milk, you could, as an adult, you could be susceptible to a form of cataract called senior cataract. Why? Because normally 5% of milk has what we call lactose, which the enzyme lactase is supposed to convert into galactose and then metabolize for your usage. If that does not happen, then it begins to settle on the lens in the eye. It becomes murky, blurred, and that is called senior cataract. If you drink too much milk as well, chances are the homocysteine levels and the IGF, insulin growth factor, in the milk could also precipitate issues of hormonal-based cancers. Or, if you're a man, as we are, it could also, studies have shown, precipitate things like prostate cancer and, if in women, hormonal-based cancers like breast cancer and cervical. So prevention is literally better than cure. Literally looking back home, I'm from Ghana originally.
Yes.
Look at areas, or anywhere in Africa, look at areas where they rear a lot of cattle. You find out that there are a lot of eye issues, i.e. cataract. Yes, cataract could be caused by excessive UV light. It could be caused by diabetes, especially type 2. It could be caused by so many different things. Even the cream you use around your face, on your face or your eye, could lead to cataract. Smoking could lead to cataract. But one major factor is too much of dairy products, milk.
This is a very important subject. You know, most of us, we go to churches and we are having night vigil, binding the devil, instead of just foregoing that glass of milk which you take every day. On the stages, we spoke about water. And what else comes under when we are eating health?
Yes, before I move on to sleep, on to sleep, I would say you can drink milk, but from plant source. That I would recommend more from plant source, i.e. Soya milk, almond milk, rice milk, any milk from plant source. Animal one, if you prevent. Yeah, we are not here to say stop this or stop that. We're here to give information.
Information, yeah, that's true.
That is why when you look at the final degree given in the uni is PhD, Doctor of Philosophy. Philomena means to love. Osophy means wisdom or to think. And doctor means to teach. So a doctor is not to cure, he's to teach. Because if prevention is better than cure, then you need a kind of knowledge to prevent. So the doctor is supposed to teach so that you can get the knowledge and prevent.
I hope our viewers, you are getting the knowledge. Going on.
The second pillar of
The second pillar.
Sleep. You have to have enough sleep.
In Africa, where we come from, it's a sign of, being lazy. I'm a real man. They sleep late. They wake up very early. They are kind of more or less workaholic. We have to be working.
Sleep is very important for cell regeneration, cell repair. If the body is like a building, when the walls crack, the time of repair is when you sleep. That is why in most cases, some people could be admitted in the hospital, let's say 40% of the time, not just because their situation is so life-threatening or so critical that if we let him go home, the person is going to die or anything like that, but in most cases, is to give the person bed rest so that even the medication given could work, the cells can repair itself. And in the mornings when the doctors are going on their rounds, they ask, how are you doing, sir? Feeling well. You've rested for the medication to work.
And is there any amount of time we are encouraged to sleep? Some they say 8 hours, some they say between 8 and 10. What's the advisable or the encouraged amount of hours?
In my world, I would say 24 hours is not enough for any active person with goals to work in, yet we still need to make time to sleep. At least get some 5-6 straight hours of sleep, uninterrupted. Minimum 5 uninterrupted, and then interrupted. Then you get some naps here and there, 1 hour here, 1 hour there. But 8 hours is not bad. Yet we are different individuals, so we cannot prescribe a one size fit all. The truth is, when you have to stop sleeping is when you finish sleeping. Whenever you sleep and it gets to a point where nature wants you to wake up, you begin to feel tired. But most of us, because of our lifestyle and jobs, have to wake up with alarm clocks.
Unfortunately, time could not permit us to close this program. Why can't we make a date next week to meet again with Ibrahim K Asente? He will be here and he will be talking about health issues. Don't forget to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend to make a date next week. We'll be coming back. What more shall I say apart from saying thank you so much for giving us your precious possession, which is your time, and to those who support the Digging Deep Show. The Digging Deep Show would not go this deeper if it was not because of you. For me and the rest of the team on the Digging Deep Show, we are signing out till we meet again next week. Remember, it's a continuation. I love you all. Kuji is my name. God bless you.